Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse Daily Dose of AFA.
Where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing. So you can start your day off the AFA
The AFA
way.
way. Yeah.
And in case you've forgotten, it's really, really important for you all to hear it every day, because I'll tell you what, it takes 21 days to do something new for it to become a habit.
Yeah.
And so here it is. I needed to hear this for at least how many days in a year?
Oh my
At
God.
least.
Yeah, I know. Sherry,
I need to hear it every day. I
yeah,
need to
here's
hear
the
it.
thing.
I'm humble enough to say that. I'm
Yeah.
humble enough to say that I need to hear that I'm okay, just the way I am. Right?
Well,
Mark,
yeah,
you read a
because we're
book.
built to just beat ourselves up. We're our own worst critics. I will give everybody else the benefit of the doubt. I'll think about, oh yeah, I really should be compassionate because, they have this going on. I try to understand what's going on, but with me, oh hell no. Cut no slack. You're
Yeah.
silly, you're stupid. You should just, you know what I mean? We
You-
are
So in
wired.
other words, right. So sometimes, here's the thing too, is the less compassion I have for myself,
Yeah. Yeah.
the less compassion
Fills
I
up, right?
have for
Exactly.
others. It
Oh,
can't, right? If I
yeah,
can't give myself a break, how could I give anyone else a break,
I
right?
know.
And it's
Well, we
very,
do better
very
at giving other people a
subconscious.
break. Yeah,
Yeah,
we do we
well,
do a little
actually,
better
you're
at
right.
that, but we are
Unless we're
pretty
triggered.
critical of ourselves. But the bottom line
Right.
is you're absolutely amazing exactly as you are right
Yeah.
now in this moment.
Yes,
You don't
yes.
need to change anything. You don't need to earn a new degree. You don't need to make more money. You just don't. You're absolutely amazing exactly as you are.
So happy 5th of July. We are going
Yes.
to celebrate. The word today is celebrate amazing. Celebrate freedom.
Yeah.
Celebrate your ability to do whatever it is you want to do,
Whatever
because
you
you know
want.
what? You say it so. I love
Yeah,
it.
that's
Say
exactly
it
right.
so. So
That's
celebration.
exactly right.
It is. So
Yeah.
celebrating freedom. It was funny yesterday. I was thinking of some social media posts to put
Mhm.
up. And the first thing that came to my mind, Mark, is in my memories that came up was me jumping out of a plane on my birthday. You were
Oh,
there,
yeah.
right?
That was fun.
So we'll put that video up, but it was at
Oh,
another,
yeah.
like, closer to my birthday. But the bottom line is that act of jumping, like that freedom,
Mhm.
like I had to make a choice to jump or to not jump. Both
Right.
decisions were
Yep.
exciting, and you know what I mean, at the same time, just to have that ability to make
Yeah.
the decision that I could have the freedom to jump, because 5 years prior, I wanted to jump out of a plane and I couldn't because I was in a severe pain flare,
Yeah.
completely 100% debilitated in bed, thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm never going to be able to do this. That
Right.
self-talk. And then cannabis comes in and reminds me, you
Mhm.
can do this. You can do this. You got to quiet your mind. And so it was basically that healing allowed me to get into a space where I could actually jump out of an airplane at the age of 50.
And you did. That's exactly what you did.
Yeah. And it
So
was, and it was really scary. I mean, I've pretty much walked through every fear in my life.
Yep.
And, so my daughter and I were talking, because she went up with me on the plane, and she just says, is it okay if this is it? And I go, you have to make that decision for yourself, right?
Yeah.
You have to make that decision if this is okay. And she goes, well, what about you, Mom? And I go, you know what? It's okay, because every minute that I have
Yep.
on earth now is the sprinkles on the cake or the cupcake, because I never thought I would ever have any more frosting. Seriously, like
Oh, yeah.
right? So I just looked
Yeah.
at her and go, if it's
Been there.
my time to go, it's my time to go. Because I've looked at
Right.
death, I don't know how many times in the eyeball.
Oh,
So we didn't die, and it was very
you didn't.
obviously.
Still here.
But it was
Rocking on.
definitely,
Celebrate today.
but the Mark, it was still doing something, that daredevil, spontaneous thing. It actually, when you're sitting in an airplane flying up to 12,000 feet, and you have time to think, you know what I mean? And so it was really a
Yeah, I
really
know.
cool
This is
way.
funny. Time kind of stands still, right? You're like,
Oh, this
ooh, this is
longest.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah, so just really it was a moment to process emotions. Here it
I
is, my birthday. Here I am with my daughter. We're both jumping out of a plane. Oh my God, what does this
Mhm,
mean? What could,
mhm.
choice I could either. And it was just really, I'm just gonna say it was awesome. It was probably one of the best birthdays I've ever had. And you
Hell
were
yeah.
there. So thank you. It
Yes,
was
I
great. You
was.
were right there, right? I was like,
I
ah.
was witness. Now listen, I was not in the plane because I'm a chicken shit and I use profanity. By the way, warning everybody, I use profanity. I've
Well,
used it forever. I love it. It's my thing.
it's my
You'll get
thing.
over it. So here we are. I
Here we
was
are.
too scared to go. I'll admit it. I've been bungee jumping with my friends. Well, let's just say they bungee jumped and I was on the ground watching them. And so you went into a plane and you faced your fears? Oh, I stayed solidly on the ground, Sherry. Why would I ever want to step out of a perfectly good airplane?
But here's the thing though, too,
I
though,
should
is that
probably
you
do
did,
it. I should
but
just do it.
I'll do it with you again.
Yeah. You know what? I'll get my nose ring in and my nipples pierced at the same time. Let's go all the way in. We're gonna go. Shh. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. All right.
But
So
here's
let's
the thing
face
though,
our fears.
I just want to tell you something. You
Yeah.
did face your fear. Okay,
Yeah.
think about it,
Well,
because you
yeah, I
made the
got
choice
married.
not to jump. But not
Faced my fear, and now I'm in this most amazing relationship. Yeah, no, I had no fear going in. I was fearless on that one. You're
Yeah,
right.
well,
I mean,
absolutely. But
yeah,
here it is when you're facing a fear, it's like you're
mhm,
acknowledging it. You're having this conscious
yeah,
dialogue, and
yep,
that is a lot of that's the whole point, is that that's
yeah,
the AFA way, is to be able
right.
to have a dialogue in yourself,
Just
making
have that
choices, and to
awareness.
have it come up. Yeah, just a
Yeah,
thank you, cannabis. That's the bottom line.
exactly,
Thank you,
exactly. Hey,
cannabis.
let's jump into the daily love. Then we're gonna
Yes,
move right into our
move right through.
Monday, manic Monday fun time,
Manic
July
Monday.
5th program. So here we go, Sherry. This one's a good one. It's called prosperity.
Ooh.
We like prosperity. All right, here we go. With positive expectation, I claim my good today. I've heard it
Mm.
said our attitudes help shape our lives, and that where our attention goes, our energy flows. With this in mind, I choose to hold an attitude of gratitude and prosperity. I appreciate this day and give thanks for the people I will encounter. I pay attention to the many ways I am blessed and the many gifts I receive.
Mm.
Prosperity, I know, is so much more than the number of my possessions. It is feelings of confidence, faith, fullness, and deep, abiding satisfaction. As a child of God, I am endowed with the power to dream and the ability to make my dreams come true. I am prosperous in divine ideas and in my drive to direct my life. I move
Mm.
forward with positive expectation and claim my good today. Prosperity.
Boom. Boom, boom, boom.
Prosperity.
Freedom. We
Yeah,
have the freedom to claim our good
we
today.
do, especially
Totally.
here in the United States of America.
Yeah.
People have been really bitchy about the United States and it's not a great country and blah blah blah. And there's a lot of discord and yeah, yeah.
Well, here's the
We
thing.
still have to realize we have the most opportunity out of anybody in the world.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
here it is, choose. You got to look at it, through all this change is transformation, and through transformation comes evolution.
Yep.
And the way to evolve in life is to get involved. And that's what
Mhm.
we're doing, right? We're
Yeah.
part of, well, I'm hoping that I'm part of the
Mhm.
solution and not part of the problem,
Yeah.
right? And changing the world. Like, we all
Yeah.
have our part in it.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
having those positive expectations,
Mhm.
I expect that cannabis is going to change the world. I
Oh, yeah.
expect that plant
Already is.
medicines. Yes. So
Yes.
here's the thing too. So for prosperity for me, right, when
Yep.
I think about it,
Yep.
I do feel very prosperous. I may not have a lot of money or a lot of stuff,
Yep.
but when I'm living my best life and helping
Yeah.
others do the same, my
Mhm.
tank gets filled.
You're
Filled,
prosperous.
filled, filled.
That's what
Exactly.
resonated with me was these 2 sentences. Prosperity, I know, is so much more than the number of my possessions. It is feelings of confidence, faith, fullness, and deep abiding satisfaction. Sherry, I was really successful at getting toys and stuff into my life. Like I really
Mm.
had everything that you could possibly need. And what I realized after I had all of that stuff, Sherry, is that none of it really brought me true happiness.
There
And
you
so
go.
I shed all of that stuff. I got rid of it, right? And
Isn't
live
that
a
awesome?
very much more simple life, right?
Yeah.
Because for me, absolutely, prosperity is that feeling of faithfulness and deep abiding satisfaction.
So I just want to bring one thing up when it comes to that. Okay,
Yeah.
think about this.
Yep.
You made the conscious decision
Yeah.
to do that. So just think
Yep.
about, here's the difference with me. I went kicking and screaming. I consciously did not want to give up any of that
Oh,
stuff.
believe me, it's not easy because you look back and you say, "Oh, what the hell did you do? You had all this stuff." Yeah, but
Yeah,
when
but
I had that
it
stuff,
was my
Sherry, yeah, every time I had to do maintenance on it or work on it, I was like, "Wow, this takes a lot of time for a little tiny little sliver of enjoyment." Like, this is like, I recognize this was not what I was meant to be spending my time on because time
Yeah.
is the precious thing, right?
Oh, there it is one of my little
Yeah,
hashtags is whenever I get to spend time with my family is
yeah.
gift of time, because it is a gift
Of
of time. The
time.
more time you can spend with your loved ones and your friends
Yeah,
and your family, and you
yep.
create these moments that will
Right,
last forever,
right.
forever, right?
This weekend was the highest travel weekend that we've had this weekend. Like, people are back with family and friends, and that is the magic right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Not
is
about the
magic.
stuff,
It
it's
is.
about the time spent with others. So,
Yeah, and
yay.
I'm so excited I get to spend time with you and Nurse Jamie
Yes.
today at the farm. It's
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
got we
awesome.
got a
So
shindig down on the farm.
we did. We'll go live later today to
Yes, we will.
show off the beautiful farm and all the
Absolutely, we will.
endocannabinoid system nourishing activities that we're going to be doing today.
So
So,
good. So good. All
so
right,
let's get
Sherry,
to it. We got to get through this.
let's
We want to
get
motivate
to
you
it.
all too. Yes, Motivational Monday,
Good.
the
Oh, wait a minute.
national.
Let's say hi to people. Oh
All
my
right, let's
gosh,
say hi.
Brian,
Good
Maria.
morning.
What's up,
Good morning.
Jamie?
Good
Oh my
morning.
gosh.
Oh, is that my
That
wife?
Jamie is one sexy son of a gun.
I love
My gosh.
Jamie.
Deanna,
Jamie,
what's going on? Good
rise
morning.
and shine, rise and shine. It's freedom time.
Yeah, it is. So today, as
Today.
on every Monday, we
Yeah.
talk about a very important subject. It's
All right.
almost, Sherry, it's almost as important as the Declaration of Independence, which we celebrate this weekend. This is the Declaration of Independence from not understanding the endocannabinoid system and cannabinoids for nurses, because the National Council of State Boards of Nursing in July of 2018, they came out with
Identified.
6 directives that said, hey, you need to know, nurses, as the most trusted and largest community of healthcare providers, you need to know this stuff because
You
your
need to know it.
patients are using this as a medicine and you need to help them do it. So, Sherry, what did
Exactly.
they talk
Let's
about?
review. So
Yeah.
we're going to review just really quickly all 5, and we're going to focus on one. So the
Boom.
National Council 6 State Boards of Nursing identified 6 essential areas of knowledge about cannabis for all nurses, nursing students, and advanced practice nurses. So number 1, the nurse shall have working knowledge of the current state of legalization of medical and recreational cannabis use, and that's different for every state. The
Right.
nurse shall have working knowledge of the jurisdiction's medical program. So the jurisdiction is each individual state, and it's
Right.
the power to exercise authority over things in that specific territory.
Now, that's
Go ahead.
very important. Like, that's a
Yeah,
really important one
big one.
because these laws that are in place in each state it's very different in each state. And guess what? Even the states sometimes don't know
Towns.
how to interpret their own laws that they've created, right?
Yes,
It's because this huge gray areas as to, well, we have this process in place, but we see that there's something else that needs to happen too. We don't know if yes
We
or
can give an
no.
example. We can even
Yeah.
give an example. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Some of the forms that nurse practitioners have to fill out for the Cannabis Control Commission. Nurse
Yes.
practitioners practice in multiple different places. They have
Right.
one line. Where are you working? One line to fill out.
Well, yeah,
Well,
so
nurses work per diem.
that's
Yeah.
one of the issues in Massachusetts that
It's
we're
like,
working with the Cannabis Control Commission on, and that is that
mhm.
you're right, practitioners, physicians, nurse practitioners, when they fill out this form to be a certifying provider, they put in one place that they are connected to. And so the question is for the CCC, and they don't know the answer is, well, they work in multiple places. How do you handle that? The
Right.
answer is we don't know. Let us talk to legal. And you know what that
So,
means. That's
well, here's the thing is I already know how it can be handled. This is the part
of
that's so
course we
easy.
all do. It's simple, but that's not
Electronics.
easy for bureaucracy, Cher. Not
Just,
easy. I mean, common sense and it just doesn't work like that. It
yeah.
just
All
doesn't
right.
work. Yeah. So anyway, so you
The
really
bottom
need to know
line,
what's going on.
right. And as nurses, that's what we know what's going on. And if you live in a particular state, you really need to know what's going on in
Yeah.
your state because it's different.
Yeah. It is
So
different.
three.
Yeah. So number
Yeah,
3, the
three.
nurse
The
shall have an
nurse shall.
understanding.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Sherry. Who's
It's
going to
my
say it?
favorite one.
Shall we?
I'll
Can we
say it.
say it in
I'll say it.
unison?
We'll say it in unison. The
The
nurse shall have
nurse
an understanding
understanding
of the
of
endocannabinoid
endocannabinoid
system,
system,
cannabinoid
cannabinoid
receptors,
receptors,
cannabinoids,
cannabinoids,
and the
and
interactions
interactions
between them.
between them. Oh, Sherry, that was so good.
I know. Well, number
Excellent job.
four. Number
Number
four is a
4.
good one.
Yeah.
You got this. It's
Oh,
research.
it's me all by myself. I'm
All by
scared.
yourself.
Oh, I'm
You
scared.
got
Okay.
this.
The nurse shall have an understanding of cannabis pharmacology and the research associated with the medical use of cannabis. Well, let me tell you, there's a lot in that.
There's a
There is
lot. It's
so
freaking
much
jammed.
research and understanding the pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics of what happens in the human body when
Yeah.
cannabis is utilized. Oh,
Yeah.
fascinating and endless. So that right there,
Endless.
my gosh, that's a whole career in and of itself.
It is, and that's the part that's so fun is it gives us plenty of content to produce these shows because
Oh
it
my
is
god.
completely
If we ever get into pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics and the pharmacology, Sherry, I don't know. I might
I
just like
know.
transcend into another world. That is just like my jam. I love that.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Oh
love
yeah.
I love you explaining it and me giving stories.
Oh, it's perfect. Yes, that's why we're partners, Sharon. We
That's
we
why
are
we're
we are
partners.
bookends. We do very well. Now,
Yeah.
number 5.
Mm. The
What do
nurse
we
shall
got?
be able to identify the safety considerations for patient use of cannabis. So really think about this. The whole point of cannabinoid therapeutics, when you get down to it, bottom line, is to
Mhm.
relieve suffering and improve quality of life. So how do
Yes.
we do that? Safely, right? Safely.
Safely.
There are safe ways to use it, and we never
There
want
are.
anyone to get scared and or to have a bad experience and then never want to
Right.
go back to it.
And you can have and you that is a possibility. I mean, nobody has died from cannabis use,
No.
but there are things that you need to be aware of. Like you could have a very, very awful panic attack, which is what I have experienced several times.
Yeah,
And
I have too.
you feel like you're gonna die.
Sweating.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not
it's
it's
freaking
not a
sweet.
pleasant
It wasn't
experience.
pleasant. It wasn't.
So being able to utilize this particular healing modality, you really need to be working with a nurse
Clinicians.
who is working in this space, who has actually identified and addressed all of these 6. And what is the 6th one, Sherry?
Oh, the sixth one is the nurse shall approach the patient without judgment regarding a patient's choice of treatment or preferences in managing pain and other distressing symptoms of chronic
Right.
illness.
Right.
And I'm just going to add to that. The nurse shall approach the patient without judgment on how
Yeah.
they care for their endocannabinoid system. Because I know, you know what I mean? It's like, I know when patients come in and I see their intake form, I'm like, oh, holy shit, you need to do this, 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 and this. Well, I'm already judging them. So I got to pull
course.
back. And then just we go on a journey, right? We're going to hold your hand until you let go.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
the whole point of that and the number 6 one about
Yeah.
working with patients without judgment has to do with spirituality and spiritual principles.
Absolutely.
You know, Mark and I presented last at the American Cannabis Nurses Association conference, and the topic was spirituality is the root of cannabis care.
Yeah.
So what we're doing as nurses and clinicians is we're doing things a little bit differently. You know, we do
Right.
bio, psychosocial, spiritual. Well, now we're starting off in the spiritual realm. We're bringing,
You know, Sherry, I'm sorry to laugh right now, but
I
I
know.
was just remembering a conversation I had with a physician who was like, "Yeah, I don't know if I can partner with you guys. You're a little bit too foo-foo." Like,
Can I tell
what the
you?
fuck are you talking about? Foo-foo.
Foo-foo
In
is
other
the
words,
way of the
we were
future.
focused a little too much on the spiritual aspect of a human being's experience.
So
And
here's
for that
it's
particular
for
provider, it was very,
yeah.
I must
So
fall into this box of
yes.
mm,
And so this is for that particular provider, number one. That
mhm.
particular provider probably has not suffered ever.
No, definitely not.
or
Absolutely not.
lacks empathy or
Well,
lacks the understanding of mind, body, spirit connection, that
that would be
energetic
more like it.
connection.
That would be more
Yeah. So
like it.
there's yeah, and really, so it's,
Mm.
here it is no judgment, just
Nope.
being very human. He's being very
Love,
human.
love.
And I
Amazing.
send
He's an amazing human being.
yes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing is that, you know what, Mark, we both know that we're not for everyone, but we're for someone,
Oh
like
my
someone,
God.
and this is what we're here for. We're here.
Yeah.
We don't judge ourselves. We're
No.
here to bring a message. And the number one message for me to bring to
Mhm.
people above anything else is
Yes.
hope. And if
Hope.
that hope sounds woo-woo, guess what? I don't care.
Doesn't matter. No, it's all good because you know what, Sharon? Remember, you're absolutely fucking amazing, exactly as you are, as is everybody else. So
Yeah,
even,
as is everyone else. Yeah.
yeah, we're all just
So
human.
back to woo-woo, back to
Back to
spirituality.
woo. Hope,
Back to woo.
inspiration. Yeah.
Inspiration. So, right. So think about this. When patients come to us, they're sick, they're
Mhm.
suffering. A lot of them
Mhm.
are scared, fearful. A lot of people are plagued with
Yeah.
stigma. And so we share stories. We have that connection, that compassion and empathy. We connect with them. And, that hope that is brought to patients gives them a desire for something to
Mhm.
happen.
Mhm.
It brings in spirit, and that's inspiration, that mental, emotional connection that allows us to be stimulated to do something different than what we've done before.
Yeah.
Growth, growing and healing, mind, body, and
Mhm.
spirit, transforming. We're developing a sense of self, personal
Yeah.
development, guiding them to improve. And then
Mhm.
healing is the process of making or becoming sound or healthy again. And healing is different for everyone, right? It's subjective for every single patient. And so that's what we're doing here: spiritual healing, mental, emotional healing, physical healing. They all tie in together as part of the umbrella.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. So, anyways,
Yeah.
let's just, so number six, let's just review that
Let's
and
do
let's
it.
jump down to the Caritas. So, number six, really quickly, says
Yes.
this: the nurse shall approach the patient without judgment regarding their preferred treatment. So, let's just break that down, Mark. What does that mean,
Listen,
really?
judgment, it's to make a decision or form an opinion,
Right.
which Sherry happens most automatically. Like we
Mhm.
immediately judge things. It's just what we do as human beings. We look at a situation and automatically we've judged it. And how does that
Yeah.
happen? Our own past experiences, stories we've been told, things that we believe already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here we are judging.
So here we are. So just think about that too. So
Yeah.
that just kind of pops into my head, that provider that was judging us for being woo woo.
Yeah.
Right? Think about
Yeah.
that.
That's what, but
So
that's
when
an
we,
automatic response.
yeah, as an automatic response based on
Mhm.
past experiences,
Mhm.
cognitive dissonance, you have the
Firmly
feeling and the
held belief.
knowing.
Firmly
Yeah.
held belief. Yeah, see, that's a beautiful thing. Isn't it great to be human? I mean, we have all of these
Sometimes.
ways of being that are completely outside of our control. We have this illusion that we have this, great prefrontal cortex that's in charge and control. It's a tiny portion of our brain that gets overridden by all the other older parts of the brain, right? So
Right.
cognitive dissonance, firmly held belief. I believe this to be true. Somebody new
Yeah.
comes in with some new information and it's very good evidence-based information. I still cling to this old belief and refuse to even bring this in for contemplation. And the
Yeah.
example I use all the time is the world was flat for a long time. Now, the world was never flat. It's always been a sphere. It's always been round, but people believed that it was flat because of the limited information they had. And when Magellan came around, it circumnavigated the globe and he didn't fall off the edge. It took a
Yeah.
while for people to actually begin to believe that that was the case because
Yeah.
of cognitive dissonance. We have that here in cannabis.
Yeah, we do. And so here
Yeah.
we go. Bottom line is that there's no room for judgment when caring for patients. The
No.
essence of nursing is human caring, and it's
Mhm.
caring for the entire experience, including that woo-woo part of them.
Including the woo. Hell yeah.
Including the woo, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the past few weeks, we've been discussing Gene Watson's theory on human caring. And so Watson's human caring theory is based on three things: humanistic psychology, which calls for the person to look deeply within, right? Knowledge that
Mhm.
self-awareness is prerequisite for
For
self-growth.
self-growth.
You
Yeah.
have to. You got to look
Yeah.
inside in order to
Yeah.
understand, try to understand what's going on. Eastern
Yes.
philosophy, which is
Philosophy.
always, Eastern philosophy is always about the whole, not the
Yeah.
piece parts,
Yep.
all one. Okay. And that's what that this focuses on.
Yeah.
And the last one, transpersonal psychology, spiritual psychology, whole person psychology, connecting
Yeah.
with spirit and transcending the self or the ego.
Yeah. So there you
So what do
go.
you
So
want
just
to
think
say
about
about the rest of it?
So
Mhm.
this is the part that's so cool. You have to think about this is a nurse. This is
Yep.
a nurse that has her PhD and
Mhm.
she's talking woo-woo. I'm sorry, I have to get into that. It just makes sense. So nurses are a little bit more open to cosmic consciousness and bringing in those spiritual principles. So
Some
Gene
maybe,
Watson,
maybe Sherry, maybe we're judging. Maybe
maybe
there
we're
are a
judging.
whole
I'm
bunch of
judging.
people, and yeah, maybe we're just judging, not like maybe there are. I think there could be. Humans
Yeah.
are
So
humans,
anyways,
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's just
Sorry.
so anyways, cannabis nurses, I feel that
Yes, that is
majority
true.
cannabis nurses are really, really focused on transpersonal nursing. We know as nurses that our consultations are supposed to go a different way than traditional nursing consultations would go for. So
Absolutely.
Watson describes a transpersonal nurse, which are
Mhm.
cannabis nurses, who has
Mhm.
the ability to center consciousness and intention on caring, healing, and wholeness rather than
Mhm.
disease, illness, and pathology.
You are
So we
spot on.
focus Boom! We focus
Yes.
on helping patients to achieve a more complete sense of harmony
Mhm.
within their mind, body, and spirit. So
Yeah.
using these caring interactions, right? So it
Yeah.
is about spiritual principles. So
Totally is.
Gene Watson, developed these 10 processes, and
Mhm.
we've been covering one a week. And we're on the sixth one. We're on the sixth one.
We love the sixth one. We keep
I
coming
know.
back to it. We've talked about it a little bit, but because
Yeah.
it really is where we're at in the magic of cannabis and how cannabis is changing healthcare, is that it's reintroducing, reconnecting us to this idea that, holy cow, we have to come into this without judging the patient.
Mm.
Like, we don't know definitively what's the best thing for that human individual. We just
Right.
don't. We
No,
can't. We can have
no.
an opinion of what we think,
Right.
but we
Yeah.
never know what's perfect for that other human being. How could we?
I completely agree with you. I like a lot
Yeah.
of patients, as
Mm.
nurses, Mark, people are contacting us saying, "Does this work? Does that work? Does this
Yeah.
work? Does that work?" And I'm like, "You know what? It all works and none of it works."
It
We
all
have
works and
to
none of it
figure out
works.
what works
All
for you.
true and none of it's true. Yeah, right. Because it's
Right.
individual to you, and that's how, cannabis nurses and practitioners guide people on finding out for themselves,
Yeah. So I got a really cool
without that
story.
judgment.
Without that judgment. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the sixth one is really, really cool because I actually have a story to go along with that one.
Oh,
So this
yeah.
is
You got such great stories. You really
this
do. You have such great stories.
I'm a storyteller.
So
So, the sixth Caritas process states
yes.
to remain present and supportive to both positive and negative expression of feelings. Now,
Mhm.
it's hard, when people are like, coming at you with the negative, whatever, even when we're in a clinician standpoint, sometimes it's hard. And it's like not taking it personally, not getting caught up in their drama,
Right.
authentically
Not
listening to
trying to
their
solve
story,
it.
holding
Yeah.
space. This
Yeah.
is where they're at, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so it requires us to tap more into our own spiritual wisdom and to help us to listen more, right?
Right.
Listening to understand instead of me hearing a few things and saying, oh no, you need this, 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 and this. It's that shift of perception. I need to listen and to understand where this particular patient is in
Yeah.
their mind, their body, their spirit, their disease
Sure.
processes.
That's a skill that you can learn. Like, I have
Yes.
taken coursework around intentional listening. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And we've both been trained in that, right? The already
Yeah.
always listening is like anticipating what you're gonna answer somebody, not even
Oh
listening to
yeah.
really what they're saying truly, but
Right.
waiting to make that response, and we do that with patients too, like, "Yeah, okay, they're telling me about blah, 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 and I'm just waiting because I have this really important thing I wanna tell them about what they should do." If we can suspend that and just get into that mode of really intently listening,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
And
listen
so
to
you
you,
think,
my partner.
I know. So you think about it when we listen, right? What we're doing with the right dialogue, the patient is going to tell us exactly what they need. Truly, because we're listening, we're asking questions. We're listening, we're asking questions, and we're
Mhm,
taking them down that path. And
mhm.
literally at the end of that consultation, they pretty much told me, some of the things that they really need to be further educated on, right? And it's
Mhm.
not telling them, it's educating them
Right.
and then providing the science behind it. So here's a really good story I want to share with you, Mark. So, and this helped because I experienced it and now I can actually share it with patients. So when I was sick and, sick and going through my whole experience years ago, I did everything the doctors told me to do. And I did all of the alternative holistic healing modalities, every single one that existed, and none of it worked. So I was completely 100% convinced that yoga didn't work, meditation didn't work, because they didn't work for me in that particular time. My endocannabinoid system was so depleted that it didn't matter what I did, it just wasn't working. So it was stuck in my head that it didn't work. So patients come to us and so
Mhm.
they'll all of these different things. Oh, I know exercise because it doesn't work, or no meditation. So we ask all of these holistic healing modalities. And so I have to think, wait a minute, it didn't work at that particular time. But once I introduced cannabinoids into my diet and into my life, all of those healing modalities that I thought that didn't work started to work again. Right. So
Yes.
that's like, with that right dialogue, listening, I've tried this, it doesn't work. And my whole response to that is, okay, right now it's not working. So let's focus
Right.
on something that you haven't done that we can try to
Mhm.
work to stimulate your body
Mhm.
so these other things work, because from experience, they do work. But if your endocannabinoid system is so depleted, right, you may need the cannabinoids to light your fire so you
Right.
can start to breathe, so you can
That's
start to
right.
meditate, so you can start to dance, so you
Mhm.
can start to eat and engage and manage your pain. So that's just like my woo-woo story for today.
And
For
you brought it
today.
up. That's what you so what you were saying is absolutely what I've heard in, all of the conferences is that cannabis has this amazing quality to be effective in multiple areas at once in the human body. It
Yeah,
goes back to the umbrella share, right? It
yeah,
has
it
this
goes back.
amazing quality to be so effective in so many different areas all at once that it allows you to take part in life again. And
Yeah,
so you're right, you're so right. Exercise may not have worked in the past for you because it was you just weren't in the right space and it wasn't working. It may work for you now that you have cannabis in your life. All of these
yes,
different things. You may make better eating choices because you're feeling
yes,
better about you and about how you're feeling in life. Oh, sure,
yeah.
so powerful.
Good
All right.
stuff.
Hey,
Freedom.
Woo!
So here it is, 21 days of freedom. Oh, look down below.
Yeah.
The Green Nurse Holistic Caring Network community. You guys have to join.
Yes.
Right? Completely 100% free to join, free community. All the green nurses are going to be there. It's for people, providers, patients all over the globe. People are coming together. And the reason why we're doing this is because it's private, right? People can ask questions, it's uncensored, and all of our podcasts are up there. So there's a link right there. You can join for the community. Basically, what happens is
you really need to. That's where the freedom lies. The freedom is in that group, because we're censored everywhere else, folks. We're censored by people who just don't understand cannabis and don't understand how powerful it can be. So we're not allowed to say many of the things that we would love to share with you, because we're censored in what we can say. So I'm not a huge fan of censorship, because, you know, I don't give a fuck. Honestly,
no given. Nope.
Love for everybody, babe. So join the community. I swear to God, I won't use as much profanity. Maybe.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe. Possibly. Yes.
Depending on the day, and we'll be able to share so much more with you.
Yeah. Yeah, please, we will, you know, and that's the thing, to please join. So the other thing that's being offered at the Green Nurse Holistic Caring community is a free course, free introductory course to cannabis. We'll look right below, down in the comments. There's a little link there. And the other thing that Elizabeth Mack's doing, she's the CEO and founder of Holistic Caring Network, is she's offering 50% off all of her self-paced programs until July 21st. So this is really, really great opportunity for you all to really learn, take advantage of 50% off.
Yeah,
completely. Yeah. And, you know, and so Carrie Lee, really quick, Nurse Mark is leaving the country, which is really exciting. So what we're going to do over the next week is we're going to start
adventures, Sherry.
Yeah, go through those courses that Elizabeth, and share hugs and nugs for them, so people can have an awareness of what's in them. Truly going to be really good thing. So listen, so we're going to
Sherry, listen, you know what? Remember Johnny Carson?
Yeah.
Remember the Tonight Show?
Yeah. A long time ago. It was like,
long time ago, folks. There was a show called The Tonight Show. Well, there still is a Tonight Show. It's the same one. But here's the thing. Johnny would go on vacation and he would have amazing other people come in. Nurse Sherry is like, she is the foundation of this whole thing. She's just bringing in other people while I'm away. All these amazing guest stars that are going to come in.
It's going to be really fun.
Denise will be in. Like, there'll be different people popping on.
Kathleen,
you're probably bored of listening to me just rant and rave, right? So this is great. You get to hear all these new people chatting away for this amazing 10-day period. Sadly, I'll be in France enjoying wines and cheeses. I'll think of me, say a prayer. I know it's going to be hard for me to get through. But.
It's good. I know you're going to have a fabulous time. We're going to talk more about that, you know, because I want to, you know, our viewers want to know Green Nurse on the go.
Yeah,
you know, what
absolutely.
the heck?
I'm excited. You know what? Funny thing, Sherry, you know, several years ago, I actually had someone from France reach out over the internet, of course, reach out and ask, you know, okay, what's going on with cannabis? How can I bring this to France? What can I do? So I'm really, really, really curious to understand what is going on in France in regard to cannabis. Like, where are they on this kind of stuff? I'm really going to be so interested to dig into that. And I will absolutely dig in. The Nurse Mark shirt's going with me. Like, of course, I'm not going to be carrying any cannabis because I don't know what their laws are.
I know,
so,
right?
I'll be cannabis free, but
this will be really good. So Green Nurse on the go. Green Nurse head to Europe, to France. Going to investigate. He's going to report back, right? Reporter. Mark.
I am.
I think it's
maybe
good.
I'll even be able to go live. Yeah.
Yes, that would be great.
Find a hotspot. Paris. Here we go. Sherry, we truly are global, and please join us in the Holistic Caring Network.
Yeah,
we are. We're building a world-class organization.
Yes, we are.
Community of like-minded people.
Yes, dreams come true. Definitely. Thank you. Babe. Here it is thank you, Cannabis Plant, for giving me the freedom to live my best life and help others do the same.
Yeah, that's right. All right,
There it
guys.
is.
Love you all. Happy July 4th, 5th. Here we go.
Stay
Today, remember, is the only July 5th, 2021 you got. You got to get in there, Sherry. Best life ever.
ever.
All right.
Stay elevated.
Love you guys. See you soon.